Okay, so I saw Morbius, and let me just say first off, this will be a spoiler-free review up until a certain point, but I will let everybody know when that is going to happen. Okay, so first thing, Morbius isn't as bad as I think everyone's saying. I definitely think it is very boring. A lot of the stuff in the movie didn't need to be in it, or just was there for no reason at all. But I wouldn't say it's bad. I'd just say it's pretty boring. The story is exactly what I think he would think it would be. At least that's what I thought. The characters in it are okay. Obviously, main man Morbius was good. I mean, yeah. Okay, you can hear my fan. Cool. Morbius was he was good. He did vampire things. One thing that was actually surprising is that Morbius wasn't really in vampire for that much. When he got angry, his face turned vampire, but he was barely a vampire. Besides the weird little face change things. Overall, if you're going to watch this movie, just don't expect much. And I hope you like it. I really do hope you like it. I thought it was boring. I didn't think it was bad. On a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being Endgame, The Batman, which, if you haven't watched The Batman, I'd recommend you go watch that before you watch Morbius. Morbius, gosh, not Morbus. What am I, English? Okay, so, like I was saying, Endgame and The Batman are 5, which is, like, my very highly recommended films. If I had to say, number 4 would be a fun film where it wasn't like super amazing, but it was fun, entertaining to watch, and I never got bored. I'd put Venom on that, which I know it's crazy. It's only one below Endgame. But like I said, my number 4 is more fun, entertaining movies that I would watch again. My number 3 would be okay movies where, it wasn't amazing. It was kind of boring, and there was some entertaining parts. And my number 2 would be it was more boring, and there were some likable bits of things in the movie, and that's where I'd put Morbius. I'd put it at a number 2, where the middle was very slow. I think it was very slow and didn't need to be there. And there was some good parts, but there was a lot of slow parts, and it was kind of boring for me to watch. And I watch a lot of films that are very boring. But that's where I'd put it. I'd put it at number 2. So if you want to go watch it, go ahead, go watch it. Form your own opinions of the movie. I hope you like it. I hope you can enjoy it. Like I said, didn't think it was bad, just kind of boring. There were some okay parts. I will say, there's 2 end credit scenes, and they were spoiled because of the trailer. So if you watch the trailer, you already know what the end credit scenes are. So there you go. Also, I don't know if this is a spoiler. Not really. They don't talk about Spider-Man. So if you're hoping for anything Spider-Man related, sorry, it's not gonna happen. Okay, this next part is going to be spoilers, so please exit out of the video if you don't want any spoilers. But if you're not gonna watch this movie, or I somehow persuaded you to not watch it, which I think you still should, inform your own opinions, but here's the spoiler part. So here we go, spoilers. Right off the bat, I'm just gonna come out and say it. This movie is very weirdly paced and kind of disorganized, and it really shows. Like, the movie starts off with him just in, it wasn't Puerto Rico, was it? Costa Rica? One of those places. And he's like trying to capture bats for like no reason at all. You don't know why. And then he sets up the trap, and it goes, and then, yeah. And then all of a sudden, 25 years later, I just think it's kind of weird. And then later on in the movie, they're like, oh, you got the trap. You got all these bats. And it's like, oh, I guess we didn't need to see it, but it was just kind of weird how it felt very disjointed from the rest of the movie, and maybe that's just a me thing, I don't know. And also, so much of this movie is spent in his dang lab. Okay. It feels like 98% of the movie is in that lab. He spends his time training in there. He spends his time sucking blood, almost killing people. A lot of the movie takes place in the lab, and I don't like it. I had to burp because I don't like it. I enjoyed the scenes where he was running around the city. I thought that was cool, and I also would have thought it would be cooler if he got to figure out his powers as he was running around the city, trying to control them, trying to control himself, really. And I think that would have been way cooler instead of him just being in his lab and like throwing a ball around and then somehow just knowing how his ear thing works. It just felt kind of lame, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think that part was good. I loved it when they were running around the city and fighting in the city and he was flying around the city. If you can't get it, I really did enjoy when he was outside the lab, because a lot of the scenes take place in there, and I just feel like they could have done way better with where he experienced his powers and how the whole movie felt, because it felt really gray and inside that lab. His friend Milo has the weirdest betrayal, in my opinion. It felt very forced, kind of came out of nowhere. Like, Morbius, Morbius, he gets his powers, isn't evil. There's no sign that he's evil. He feels bad for killing all the mercs. And then Milo gets it and he's like, healthy people deserve to die because I was sick all those years. It's like, what? I was thinking about it, and I think the movie would have been way better if throughout the years it would have shown them. So, like I said, pacing very bad, and all of a sudden Morbius is an adult getting an reward for the artificial blood. I think instead of just skipping around there, it showed that one scene where Milo got beat up by normal people. And I think if they would have expanded on that and shown him slowly getting like weird looks, beat up by people for him just being sick, then I feel like the betrayal, or him being evil for, him being sick and they're being healthy, I think it would have fit a lot better. There's also a scene where they're just walking down New York City, and even my dad was like, oh, how did they not get hit once? Maybe if they would have gotten hit a couple times, it would have shown that they're not seen as normal people, or they're looked down upon. And that would have helped in Milo's whole betrayal where, oh, they're healthy and they don't deserve to be healthy. They should die and suffer like I did. I feel like progression would have helped out a huge amount. So, example, instead of just skipping to the award ceremony, it would have showed, Milo slowly getting picked on and kind of just sitting in his room while Morbius was, getting his degree, getting all these awards. Then it would have shown that jealousy, because even that the doctor, even said that, like, he never favored Morbius, but Milo said, oh, you always favored Morbius. And I think that would have helped to show that a little bit more, but that might just be me. And also, let's talk about those end credit scenes that felt very stupid, in my opinion. Obviously, this is all my opinion. It just... Okay, if you watched the trailer, then you saw that the Vulture was, for some reason, in Morbius, which is, like, cool. And then that was what both end credit scenes were. So, you kind of already knew that, hey, Vulture is gonna be in this movie. What's also really weird is they use No Way Home's, like, dimension thing to explain why he ended up in, that other multiverse, or the other universe. And my question is, what were they planning to do before No Way Home? Because Morbius was supposed to release, years ago, before the whole, weird thing that happened in the world. So what was their plan before that? How are they going to explain that the Vulture was there? I don't know. But the end credit scene ends with him, appearing in that universe. And the second one, he goes, hey, let's go do some good, Morbius. Which is obviously them setting up the Sinister Six, which is kind of weird because the whole movie, Morbius was supposed to be a good guy, and he was kind of saying, oh, I don't want to kill people. Like, what am I going to have to do when I want blood? And that was the whole point of the movie. But at the end, it's implied that he's going to join the Sinister Six. Obviously, this can change. This is an end credit scene. So, very weird. And I also thought that the CGI for the Vulture kind of looked bad. That might just be me nitpicking. But, there you go. So, yeah, that was my review of Morbius. I thought it was a very okay movie. Very boring in the middle. Oh my gosh. And obviously, my thoughts are some characters were underdeveloped. Milo, I'm talking about you. And also, I feel like there wasn't not enough of vampires and them in the city. It's called Morbius, and we saw him for like 2 seconds. And Venom, we saw Venom for like most of the film. So, yeah. Hey, I do YouTube videos, and this is my first YouTube video that I've done reviewing a movie. Wow, I swear I can speak English. But if you guys want to see more content like this, I will be doing a lot more movie reviews. In the past, this YouTube channel has been a whole bunch of weird things, analysis of manga, like games, etc. But I'm planning to do more movie push because I love movies. I watch movies all the time, and I have things to say about them. So I'm gonna start doing that. I hope you guys did like it and enjoy, and if you randomly got this video and you recommended, I hope you did like, and I hope you stick around for my other reviews. And I hope you guys really go watch the movie and form an opinion for yourself. If you like the movie, then don't listen to me, because I'm just a random guy on the internet who has 2 subscribers. Thanks, guys.